Before we get into some of that stuff, can you first tell us a little bit about your military service?
Yes, I mean, really, the Marine Corps saved my life. I was a wayward youth, and I had the choice of either going to probably medium security prison, at least juvie for a little while, and then medium security prison, or military school. And my granddad was a judge, and I chose military school. And so, thanks to Marion Military Institute, that's what introduced me to the first Marine I ever met was Staff Sergeant Sutton. Ended up being Gunny Sutton. He was a Force Recon Marine out of 3rd Force Recon in Mobile, Alabama, and reservist, and just a phenomenal Marine. And he was our resident leader advisor, which was the adult in the barracks when I was in high school. I wasn't ever malicious. I was mischievous and, the class clown. I liked to fight. I liked to get in trouble. Wasn't like a bully. I hated bullies actually, but I just got in a lot of trouble and always up to mischievous stuff. So getting to college and really, if I could have made a negative GPA at Auburn, I would have had a negative GPA my freshman year. I realized that I needed some discipline. And I looked back and reflected on Staff Sergeant Sutton and said, man, if I can live my life 10% like him, I'll be okay. And I got out of school that freshman year after Auburn, went to Paris Island. I went in as a reservist knowing I wanted to come back and finish school. And it's crazy when they shave your head and send you through Paris Island and chase you around the island for 3 months and then send you to School of Infantry. After 6 months of that intense disciplinary program, I came back and made really good grades at Auburn. So if you're not doing well in school, I promise you'll do better when you get back from boot camp. But came back, and that's when I started my reserve career, enlisted. Really knew I wanted to be an officer. Really liked, even though I was wayward in military school, I was a student lieutenant, and I liked being able to take care of people while I was a student ROTC lieutenant at Marion Military Institute. And I really fed off of that, and it made me feel better when I was helping people work through their problems. And I liked problem solving and helping people get to what they wanted to be their end result. And so I always knew that I wanted to become an officer to take care of other people. And I never, even looking back as a Lance Corporal or a Corporal, a younger Marine, I never remembered doing it for a power thing. I never wanted to get promoted to be like in charge of people. I always wanted to do it to help lead, guide, mentor, and positively influence people. So every opportunity I could get promoted, I saw it as an opportunity to lead more people. I never wanted to be a manager. I always truly wanted to be a leader. Failed tens of thousands of times at that. And you'll never be a perfect leader. If you think you are a perfect leader, you're delusional. And I really still continue to strive to be my best as a leader in all facets of my life. So that's really what got me in the Marine Corps and just going through the reserves. I deployed to the invasion of Iraq. We weren't the initial push, but we were right after that and stayed over there until almost 2004. I think we came back in like September, October. I'd have to check my DD 214 on that. And then I ended up finishing school, getting a commission, doing 2 tours in Iraq as an officer, one as a lieutenant with 2nd Marine Division outside of Camp Fallujah. And then I did one actually with the Army. So I was with 3-1 Cav and deployed in Mosul, Iraq with the Army. And Marines watching, I love you guys. I'm not knocking you, but my best deployment was definitely with the Army because of the leadership. And the leadership I had over there as far as the higher level ended up being Lieutenant General Gary Valesky. And I had
Mhm.
Sergeant Major Pippin, and they were our brigade commanders. And man, they were just phenomenal leaders. And I remember watching them as we would do battlefield circulations or while I was in Mosul with them. And I really wanted to emulate those two men, Sergeant Major Pippin and then Colonel Valesky at the time. They were just phenomenal humans. They knew all of their soldiers through and through. Even when they had, I think you call it battle rattle, even when they had that on, they knew their soldiers, they knew the dogs back home, their kids, and they can engage the PFCs and the specialists, and they truly knew their soldiers. And so I was like, man, like I really want to be at that level of leadership to where I'm doing it because I'm not doing it because it's a requirement.
Yeah, they're both great leaders and did a lot for our army and for the nation. And so I'm glad you brought them up and what good leadership is because they definitely are that.